Earlier warnings with Storm Tracker 2 HD.
Breaking news, 3 officers shot and killed, another 3 injured, this time in Louisiana.
Shot fired, officer down. Got a city officer down, shot fired.
The moments before frantic calls for help. Tonight, a community in shock.
I'm really stunned. I never, just stunned.
And within the hour, President Obama called for the country to open our hearts and unite.
Everyone right now focus on words and actions that can unite this country rather than divide it further.
Live, local, late breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
We've also learned the identity of the man police believe shot and killed 3 officers. I'm Richard Elliott.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Wendy Corona. Police identified the shooter as 29-year-old Gavin Long. Officers also confirmed they shot and killed the suspected shooter earlier today. Now, here's what we know at this hour. 3 officers are dead and another 3 injured after the shooting. Louisiana State Police say there is not an active shooter situation. The gunman who police killed is believed to be the only shooter.
Cell phone video captured the rapid gunfire on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge this morning. The victims who died are 2 Baton Rouge police officers and 1 sheriff's deputy.
We're getting our first look at 2 of the victims. This is Officer Montrell Jackson. In a picture provided to ABC News, you can see Jackson holding his son. And in the last 20 minutes, the ABC affiliate in Baton Rouge got this picture of Baton Rouge police officer Matthew Gerald, also killed in the shootings.
Today's attacks come just 1 day after the last funeral for the 5 police officers assassinated in Dallas, Texas.
And it comes in a city on edge because of rising racial tensions. A hail of gunfire this morning in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. An attacker killed 2 police officers and a sheriff's deputy.
I'm hit. About a call on you. Code 3, we got an officer down.
It started with a call of a suspicious person walking on a street with an assault rifle. When officers arrived, the shooting started. 6 officers hit by gunfire. Police killed the suspect. Investigators originally said they were looking for additional suspects, but now say there is no ongoing search for an active shooter. The deadly confrontation shocking people living in the area.
I don't feel like we're safe. I feel horrible for the cops.
Today's attack comes with the city of Baton Rouge on edge. Protesters filling the streets after 2 white officers killed a black man on July 5th. A local legislator in contact with Alton Sterling's family is asking protesters to stand down for a day to mourn the officers killed. Within the last 90 minutes, President Obama addressed the nation.
Our hearts go out to the families who are grieving. Our prayers go out to the officer who's still fighting for his life. This has happened far too often.
Officer shootings in Dallas and now Baton Rouge have police departments across the country concerned about safety. Police in Metro Atlanta are on alert.
Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez continues her live Team 2 coverage from the Atlanta Police Academy.
You can see here on the Police Academy door, it says, answer the call. The sergeant I spoke to today said officers know the risk they take when they take the job, but no officer should be gunned down on the job.
But we can't operate afraid, because when we operate afraid, then we jeopardize public safety.
When Atlanta Police Sergeant Warren Picard found out a gunman killed 2 police officers and a sheriff's deputy and wounded 3 others in Baton Rouge Sunday, he thought about the safety of Atlanta police officers.
I mean, it's very concerning. I would hesitate to say that it strikes fear in me, but it is a certain part of you that fears what has happened nationwide.
I asked him if this most recent police shooting will change any policies with APD.
I don't know if we need to make changes. I think what we're doing is effective. We're keeping our officers safe. We're keeping the public safe.
Atlanta Police Chief George Turner is away in D.C. right now for a national law enforcement conference. When he gets back, there will likely be some conversation about the Baton Rouge shooting. Sergeant Picard said that all of the recent police-involved shootings has contributed to how people perceive police officers nationwide.
It's how the public looks at cops now as police officers. And that's affected by a lot of different things. It's what they see from day to day. You look at the way entertainment represents police officers. They don't always represent police officers in a positive light. And then we take the ownership ourselves. We don't necessarily always represent ourselves in the best possible light.
Sergeant Picard went on to say that law enforcement is like one big family, so the Atlanta Police Department is hurting for those fallen officers and their families. We're live outside the Atlanta Police Academy in Southeast Atlanta. Taisha Fernandez, Channel 2 Action News.
And count on Channel 2 Action News for continuing coverage as this investigation unfolds. We are working with our sources at ABC News to learn more about the response on the ground in Louisiana. We'll bring you live updates during this newscast as we get them.
Happening right now, more than 70 delegates from Georgia are in Cleveland, Ohio for the Republican National Convention, which begins tomorrow. Channel 2 Action News was the only Atlanta television station with the delegation today. Channel 2's Dave Huddleston is live in Cleveland with the message those delegates heard from a U.S. Senator. Dave.
Yeah, Wendy, we left Atlanta about 8:30 this morning on the same plane as dozens of Georgia delegates. When we landed here in Cleveland, it was straight to work, but they did pause to remember those officers killed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We also talked to U.S. Senator David Perdue, who talked about the convention as well as those officers killed.
And I'm heartbroken again. I mean, this is something that we've got to get at the heart of. I mean, disenfranchisement's one thing, anger's another.
U.S. Senator David Perdue discussing the recent police killings in Baton Rouge. He told me he has full confidence that he and the other Georgia delegates will be safe here in Cleveland.
And that's what we've got to do as a country. This is just, it's devastating for the people involved, but we've got to find a way to bring America together again.
He spoke at a welcome luncheon for Georgia delegates, telling them it's time to get on the Donald Trump train to get him elected to the White House.
I think he would be a good first step. He'd be a good person to shake everything up.
Hey, we're going to be ready to roll when the time comes and we get home.
Delegate Rachel Little says the more than 70 Georgia delegates may not have all supported Trump at the beginning, but they are all ready to rally behind him.
This presidential election, this cycle has been 3 years coming. We've been talking about it, and so now it's time to get it going.
Channel 2 Action News has the largest television contingency of reporters here in Cleveland covering the convention. Justin Farmer will join me on Tuesday. Tonight, we are headed inside the convention, and we will have a full wrap-up of today's activities, as well as looking ahead to what is happening tomorrow. We can also tell you there's a protest happening right now. We're going to try to leave this location, go there, and get some of that video and talk to those protesters about what is going on here in the streets of Cleveland. A full report on Channel 2 Action News, Night Beat at 11. Reporting live from outside.
And we are continuing to stay on top of breaking news in Louisiana. 3 officers killed in a shootout and 3 others hurt. We're getting new information about those who died. Continuing coverage here throughout this newscast.
High temperatures combined with that high humidity, it's feeling more like 99 degrees in Athens, LaGrange. Your heat index still 100 degrees. And yes, that has fueled some showers and storms across the metro. We're tracking where these storms are headed and when they'll be clearing out next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Your home sold, guaranteed.
More now on our breaking news as we've learned the names of the 2 police officers killed this morning in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This is Officer Montrell Jackson, seen holding his son in a picture provided to ABC News. And our ABC affiliate in Baton Rouge obtained this picture of Matthew Gerald. Investigators say the gunman, identified as Gavin Long from Missouri, also killed a sheriff's deputy. The impassioned plea the Louisiana governor made following today's attack, that's new for you in the next 10 minutes.
We're checking to see when a suspect accused of stealing a patrol car could appear in court. Sheriff's deputies arrested the man after a chaotic chase, a crash, and shooting. Cell phone video captured what happened when the chase ended in Cherokee County. It started in Bartow County. The GBI says 32-year-old Lorenzo Taylor from Mississippi stole a patrol car when a deputy questioning him about reported car break-ins was distracted by a witness who had additional information. Several police agencies pursued the suspect to Highway 92. The GBI says officers fired at the stolen car when the suspect drove toward them.
There was a shooting at this location, and that's where we're at. The suspect has been transported to Kennestone. I don't have his condition.
The GBI says the suspect also snatched an officer's gun as authorities took him into custody, but they retrieved it after a scuffle and tasing him.
2 pastors from 2 very different local churches took an opportunity to bridge a racial divide. The important message that came out of a joint service.